pure experiences. Welcome to the voice version of the blog, Pure Experiences. You are listening to the article, Introspection 6, Consciousness Without Content, published on the 1st of January 2017 by Tarun Pradhaan, published on pureexperiences.blogspot.com, narrated by Charlie Jacob.
Introspection 6, Consciousness Without Content. Goal: we will attempt to gain a direct experience of the pure consciousness. In other words, self that is not engaged in experiencing anything, or when there are no contents to experience. Note that it's not possible to even remember such a state, because there will be no memories of it, so we will try to get a taste of it. Prerequisites: nothing more than wishes already mentioned for other introspections, although sometimes a friend who can ask you questions can be useful. It's best done with eyes closed, but it isn't necessary. It is the easiest thing to experience. It happens every time you are in deep sleep. There are no contents, no mind, no people, no world, nothing at all. The problem is there is no memory of it also. No knowledge is formed out of it. So the obvious question is, how do we know if the self still existed in deep sleep? The obvious answer is, we cannot know. Knowing involves organizing contents, naming, experiencing, understanding, memorizing, learning. These are all functions of the mind. And when the mind itself is absent, nothing much can be done as far as mental tasks are concerned. The good news is, it can still be experienced. The only thing that can be known is the reemergence of the mind from deep sleep via direct experience. It is our everyday experience that the mind boots up in the morning, and there is a witness to see it doing the act. The state previous to that remains unknown. So, let's find a workaround for the situation by roughly simulating a consciousness without contents. It will give a taste of it and will open you up for new possibilities. So, let's play a game. The rules of the games are: you need to pretend that you are asleep. The mind is not functioning. No analysis, recognition, understanding, naming, classification, division, and so on are happening. Pretend it's not possible. Mind is deactivated. Memory recall is deactivated. However, memory formation is active. So you are free to memorize what is happening now, but you are not free to recall anything else from the past. You have lost all your memories. The rules are simple. It can take a while to practice the mind dead mode, because the mind keeps jumping back up. But those who are expert in meditation will find it a piece of cake. So, let's start. Question. And since we are pretending that to be mind dead, let a friend ask you these questions. Where are you now? If the answer is that you are at home or in a city, then it's the mind springing back from the dead. Ignore the answer. Let the mind go away. Just observe. Do not think. The obvious thing that remains is an experience of you here and now. Second question. What country do you live in? You have no memory. So the answer is you have no country. There is no such thing. Third question. Who are in your family? Parents, kids, wife, husband. You have no one. You just are. There are no relatives and friends. Fourth question. What's your name and what are your likes or dislikes? These words do not even make sense. What is a like? What is a name? Why should I have them? You can question in response to it. Next question. Are you suffering now or are you happy? Most probably, you will find that you are just peaceful, even a bit happy, since there is no burden of suffering which comes from memories of the past. It's a blissful state. Next question. What do you see? You can see something, but you don't know what it is. There is just experience and an experience of an experiencer. Both are one. See that when the mind is dead, the conditioning is absent. You are pure consciousness now. This is a taste of self without contents, or the classic Nirvikalpa Samadhi. If your eyes are closed, open them slowly and let the mind return to normal functioning. Recall something. Recognize your room and objects. Now you are back in the world. Your family, possessions, body, and everything is restored as it was. Let's analyze and conclude. This little game gives us a taste of contentless consciousness. This is not an unfamiliar state. We just don't know it. We are ignorant about it. We wrongly call it unconsciousness or sleep. It is just a pure and blissful consciousness. Nothing more and nothing less. The advantage of the game is that it allows us to keep a memory of it, so the mind gets a hint of how the state is like when it leaves every day. You will also note that time makes very little sense, but it is there in the game since memory formation is allowed. It's not difficult to infer that stopping the memory completely will completely wipe out the time. This is exactly our experience when we wake up from deep sleep. The time we leave the world is exactly the same as the time we arrive back here. Yog Nindra, or meditative sleep, comes very close to this game, and those who have experienced it will know what I mean. All you need to do in order to advance in this area now is to turn this game into a practice. Try turning off as much of the mind as you can. This can be done every day for only a few seconds or a couple of minutes. See what remains, how you feel. I do not recommend to stay in Nirvikalpa for extended time periods. It needs supervision, especially if you are talented enough, you can do it very easily. But for most of us, the problem will be opposite. Our minds won't let us stay there for long. In any case, it is important to get a taste of it firsthand. It is important to convince yourself by a direct experience that such a state is possible. What are the implications of knowing this? And why would anyone even want to know this weird thing? Well, if you are already happy and free, then it's a waste of time for you. But if you are on a path of knowledge, trying to progress further and further, then this introspection will make you jump ahead by 1,000 miles. You will not only witness the self in its purity, you will also witness the whole drama of creation, engagement, and annihilation of the personality and world. You will directly see that these contents are due to mind. Nothing can be more freeing than such an experience.
Pure experiences.
You are listening to Pure Experiences by Tarun Pradhaan. For more, please visit pureexperiences.blogspot.in.